dedicated to southern and eastern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News at 5:30.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. Kentucky leaders are still focused on the opioid epidemic by trying to break the cycle of addiction in families. They are launching a new program that will keep children with parents in recovery. It's called the Family Recovery Program. Chelsea Jones tells us how it works and the potential impact the program could have across the state.
Kentucky leaders hope a new program will help families struggling with addiction. Sponsored by Volunteers for America, the program will help children stay with parents in recovery.
Maybe next year there will be a child who will be at his home or her home and not in a place that they have not chosen to be.
State leaders say nearly 10,000 Kentucky children are living outside the home due to parent addiction. They believe family separation can have a negative impact on a child.
Children who grew up with a parent who suffers from addiction often develop their own challenges with addiction. They also are more likely to contend with other psychological and emotional challenges that can take years or even a lifetime to overcome.
The new program will start this year in Clay, Hardin, and Lincoln counties. It will allow children to live at recovery centers with their parents.
And moms are motivated for treatment because they have their kids with them. They don't have to worry about where they'll place their children if they have to go to residential treatment.
Volunteers for America President Jennifer Hancock says the program can break the generational cycle of addiction.
We have an entire parenting curriculum so that we're teaching moms how to nurture and make amends for the harm that they've created and the impact that they've had in their children's lives.
In Frankfort, Chelsea Jones, WKYT.
The University of Louisville will evaluate the program to determine how well it works and if there's potential for expansion. A cemetery in Nicholasville is cleaning up tens of thousands of dollars worth of damage. Police say Thomas Garner drove through the Maple Grove Cemetery Friday. They say he caused $100,000 in damage. You can see headstones on the ground, some in pieces. Police say one monument cost $25,000 alone. Garner is charged with DUI.
I mean, there's no question he was driving the car. It's just the amount of damage that was incurred in the cemetery itself.
Blackford said those monument companies told him the current shipping issues could impact when those repairs can happen.
Another chilly one in the mountains as we've gone through the day today, and despite the sunshine, we've kept temperatures on the cool side. Time-lapse camera from I-64 at Moorhead. You see a few of those high clouds working through earlier on today. We're starting to move some of those out as we head into the evening hours. Notice those skies getting darker as well as we continue to watch the sun set behind the camera. Beautiful shot here from our Buffalo Mountain camera here in Perry County. The sunset, the orange is on the horizon, the sun lighting up those high clouds red. A beautiful shot out there. Of course, you can share those sunset pictures with us on the WYMT weather app or to any of us, me, Brandon, or Cameron, on social media. Beautiful shot there from Buffalo Mountain. Temperatures upper 30s, low 40s right now. A few mid 30s out there. Pikeville's at 36, Logan's at 34. Wise already at freezing, 32 degrees this evening. Few of those high clouds continue to work through, but diminishing just a little bit as they continue their trek off to the south and east. We're in the upper 20s tonight, mostly clear and chilly as we watch another weather system head our way for Thanksgiving weekend. I'll have the details on that coming up in just a few short minutes. Steve?
All right, thank you, Evan. The holiday season is a time for giving back, and one Eastern Kentucky church is doing just that. The Maple Street Church of God in Hazard partnered with the Men and Women of Action, a nonprofit organization based out of Tennessee, to host a toy, food, and clothing distribution for the families of Perry County. WYMT's Alyssa Williams spoke to those involved and watched the event preparation take place.
What started with a random phone call 6 years ago,
I thought it was a practical joke or something,
is now impacting the lives of thousands this holiday season.
And I said, I need a church to work out of to bless the community. And he said, I know just the place. right here at Maple Street Church.
6 years ago, Jane Roberts from Men and Women of Action Ministry reached out to Pastor Mike Smith at the Maple Street First Church of God to plan a volunteer project with the church. And now the ministry returned to help the Hazard community for a second time.
We feel like we've come back home and seen our family again that we haven't seen in 6 years.
Since Sunday, volunteers from the church and Men and Women of Action unloaded clothing, toys, and food to distribute to thousands of people for the Appalachian Christmas Project on Wednesday.
All these people are volunteers. You know, nobody gets paid to do this. And to have people that will give their own time and their own money and pay their own expense to come and help other people, I call them ordinary people called to an extraordinary purpose.
Those at the Maple Street Church of God say they are grateful for this partnership and even more grateful to impact so many lives in their community.
I know that in the Word, the Bible tells us to be ye doers of the Word and not hearers only. This is our chance to truly be doers of the Word.
Coming together to spread goodwill this holiday season. In Hazard, Alyssa Williams, WYMT Mountain News.
The Appalachian Christmas food distribution, coat, and blanket giveaway will be happening at the Maple Street Church of God tomorrow from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. If you or someone you know needs assistance this holiday season, you can call the Maple Street Church of God at 606-439-5078. Another organization also joined the list of folks distributing holiday boxes to families in need. YMCA workers handed out boxed Thanksgiving meals in downtown Lexington. For around 20 years, the YMCA in Lexington has hosted its annual Thanksgiving meal program. Along with food, a care package was also given out, which includes a hat, socks, and gloves. Although travel experts say tomorrow is expected to be the busiest travel day ahead of Thanksgiving, millions of people are hitting the roads and the skies today. A lot of people were at Bluegrass Airport in Lexington this morning. Experts are concerned about long lines, but Bluegrass Airport appeared to be handling the crowd well. Travelers say that they are excited for their trips and excited that they can easily travel again.
Yeah, it feels good. I mean, the masks are not great, but I understand why we need them, so it's not that bad.
Travel experts say that nationally we could see travel return to near pre-pandemic levels, with nearly 53 million Americans expected to drive somewhere this holiday weekend and another 4 million expected to fly. Attorney General Daniel Cameron is challenging the vaccine mandate for healthcare workers. Cameron filed a lawsuit challenging the legality of the Medicare and Medicaid requirement. The lawsuit argues that the mandate is unlawful and unconstitutional. Cameron says this mandate could make the worker shortages in the healthcare sector worse. Approximately 1/3 of Kentuckians are covered by the Medicaid program. And Senator Rand Paul released some data recently about how vaccine mandates could impact Kentucky's workforce in several industries. Senator Paul says 34% of Kentucky's total labor force is at risk of losing their jobs if the vaccine mandate goes into effect. The Kentucky senator says he feels Kentucky is protected based on the current vaccine rates for the older population, coupled with natural immunity.
I personally think that rather than forcing people to take a vaccine, we should quickly allow for the development of a new vaccine, the Delta variant vaccine. They have it. They've already got it in trials. It's exactly the same procedure as the previous vaccine. So I would think you could have abbreviated and shortened studies as long as it's voluntary.
Meanwhile, the senator continues his stance on masks, saying they do not work. Lost River Cave near Bowling Green announced its most significant donation ever this morning in support of their new capital campaign. Cave officials said they received a $1 million anonymous donation, which will be used to build their Nature Discovery Center. This center will house exhibits and classes, giving local students an opportunity to understand nature.
We are excited because the Nature Discovery Center will attract people here from all over. There are 600 nature centers throughout the country, and nothing like this exists anywhere in South Central Kentucky.
Lost River Cave says Thanksgiving is a perfect time to announce this and extend their thanks and appreciation to their anonymous donor. Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, the Grammy nominations are out. We'll tell you about some of the artists up for the most prestigious award in music.
And our pattern from the last few weeks continues. Unfortunately, that means rain chances fall on a holiday this week. I'll have the breakdown straight ahead.